All right, One Piece, chapter 912. Amagasa Village. There were 5 main big, bombshells or components to this chapter this week. We get to see the, more of the. We're introduced to who this ninja or this samurai in the Kabuto armor is. His name is Hitetsu, and he is the ancestor of Kotetsu, who is the blacksmith who makes all the Kitetsu blades. So, and that's who the sword Nidai Kitetsu, and the sword that Zoro has, which is Shidai Kitetsu, which is the cursed blade that he received in Logtown, which is really cool to see, something that spanned for so many years, where Oda is able to tie together, and now that Luffy doesn't own it, but he's in possession right now of the Nidai Kitetsu. Cool to see him and Zoro going back and back and forth, and holding that. So I'll talk about that later. The other component is that we see a Ace flashback of his history in Wano with Tama, and how that was a really cool parallel between Luffy and Shanks' relationship, and how Tama and Ace had that same relationship of, hopefully one day I'll be strong, I can join you. But Ace is, he was kind of a savage with saying that, Tama has to be hot in order for her to join, hot and powerful. But so that was cool. Then we see what happened with the village, Amagasa Village, which stands for the actual hats that, the straw hats that are woven by the people that, evidently, Shanks wove that kind of hat, the Amagasa hat, for Oris Jr. But that village was destroyed by Diaz Drake, ex-Drake, who is proclaimed to be a headliner of Kaido's forces, which I'm not sure what that really means. Does that mean that he is a calamity, or does that just stand for someone who is of notoriety, who has recently joined the crew, or the Kaido banner? We'll have to wait and see. It says that Drake took out the 5 samurai guards of Amagasa Village, which I'm also curious to see if that is a staple in the Wano country, if every village has 5 samurai guards or a number of samurai guards. But from what it sounds like, Hitetsu says that all the villages and everything around Wano, besides the flower capital where the shogun resides, has become a wasteland. And we see that later in the chapter, as it's just a barren landscape with animals who are poisoned and stuff. And we get that joke with Zoro and Luffy, which was pretty funny, about the poison meat and the stomach aches. Which again goes to another point of the Zoro and Luffy reunion, which was very cool. I really like seeing that because I love this this bromance duo that they have, and they always kick ass when they're together. Zoro is to me closer to Luffy than he is closer to Sanji, but that's a whole nother power debate and all that stuff. But I'm a huge Zoro fanboy. That was very cool. And then Hawkins shows up, who he's been tracking down both Luffy as being the one who is shipwrecked on the beach, and he's heard about Zoro or Joran, whatever his Wano name is, for being a criminal. So that's going to be a fight next chapter, and he says that, you know, there's a 98% chance of something, and it sounds like it's a 98% chance of him getting his ass kicked by Luffy and Zoro. Even though Hawkins is a supernova, I don't see him beating, you know, even though the bounty is inflated on Luffy, he is a powerhouse. You know, I don't see Hawkins beating both Luffy and Zoro, and I don't care how many men he has with him. There's no way that he's beating that. If he beats them, then that's like square, like back to square one for Luffy and Zoro. And unless there's like something that comes into play with like the stomach ache, which that would be just crap. I hope that doesn't happen. But yeah, so that's gonna happen next chapter. Again, cool chapter. What I didn't like how fast Hitetsu trusted Luffy. It felt like between Hitetsu telling the tale of the village, of Amagasa village, and how it was, you know, in famine and all that stuff, and then Luffy getting the kimono, it felt like there was a page missing. And the way that Hitetsu was so open to letting Luffy go and find a doctor and water and everything for Tama, it just felt very rushed, and just like that there was a page, you know, that there are panels or some information missing. And I get why Hitetsu cannot go, because he states in this chapter that he's you know, he's wanted, and the clothing that he's wearing, and he's waiting for somebody who, you know, we're obviously going to see who he's waiting for later in the arc. But yeah, it just like seems just really, really convenient of how fast he has trusted, you know, Luffy with all this. So that was an issue for me. I also kind of had an issue with just the pacing at the end with seeing Hawkins. Like, I mean, I know that to me, it's going to be BS if Hawkins beats, you know, Luffy and Zoro. But it just seems like Hawkins, since he is such a name, that he shouldn't be taken out so easily. Unless he runs away like a scared little bitch, you know, which he probably will. I don't know, it just seems way too early. And everything in Wano is happening like really, really fast. And maybe it's because there's so much to happen, like down the line, and everything is going to be so like extra in this arc, that maybe seeing somebody like Hawkins this early is like a, you know, it's a normal thing in comparison to other arcs where, you know, since Hawkins is here, and then people like the calamities and everything are going to be like way up here, you know. Maybe that's it. Maybe that, like, Oda has this weird like kind of scaling thing in his head. So yeah, besides those two things, like, that's just kind of the pacing stuff I had a little issue with. But I really liked, yeah, just like the Zoro reunion with Luffy, and the just like more stuff with Tama. I think Tama's really cool. I wouldn't be mad if Tama ended up joining the Straw Hats a few years down the line, if she kind of changes her motivation and devotion to Luffy rather than to Ace, you know, now that Ace is dead. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about this chapter down below. Let me know what you thought about this format of my manga walk review. I'll be making more kind of experimental content like this, so like the video, dislike the video if you're dumb. Just kidding. You can dislike it if you're cool anyway, I don't care. And comment down below. I will see you guys next week, or maybe I'll make a theory thing this week. I don't know, we'll see. But anyway, I will see you all very soon. Or you'll just see me. I'm rambling on, but whatever.